Atlanta is the mecca of amateur baseball in the United States. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And like even on it, how much pressure is it for you? Because every year you have big league dads sitting in the stands watching their kids play on your team.
Yeah. It was pretty relevant this year with having a couple pretty famous big leaguers in the stands, but I've had a lot in the past as well.
Has anybody ever overstepped?
No. They get it. So they knew what it takes to get to that next level. And trust me, there've been a lot of interviews that I have to go through to get those kids on the team and to get them a part of the program. So they do their homework just like anybody else would. So yeah, but it's fun because those kids are usually the most competitive kids and know that what it takes, the work ethic and all that comes with it. Those are the kids that are fun to coach.
I think that's, for me, what makes you and your dad so unique, and really anybody that is in the organization working, because you guys have the best in the game ever, and they trust you with their kids.
Scary, huh?
Isn't that special? Bro.
Well, I think a lot has to do with trial and error as well. So, just knowing, not each kid's the same, not each player's the same in any walk of life. So you got to know how to change up coaching styles. You got to know how to handle different types of personalities. And I think parents have kind of seen that over the years that like it's going to be a situation to where they're going to always put my kid in a situation to succeed first and not push them in, like we've talked about, into a failure first situation. So
because those guys don't pick based on the logo on your chest. They're picking the people that are going to be working with the children, the kids, right?
Yes.
All right. So some other stuff I wanted to talk about you today, because there's, again, folks, when you're dealing with somebody that is at the level that these guys are doing it. All right. 40 years of doing it at the highest level. Not only more championships, but more big leaguers, more Hall of Famers, more draft picks, and probably, I would be interested to track this one day, but like how many guys are out there actually benefiting their community, diving into their community with their business and their minds and everything else because of the mindset and the acumen that they built in the program. It's absolutely incredible. So it's hard. Like, I don't know, man, there's no good resource for parents to go learn this stuff. This episode is going to be a huge resource for parents.
Yeah, I agree. You're exactly right. And I think it goes back to, how the game of baseball and pretty much any game, if you put your kids in the right situation, they learn life lessons to where you're always a part of something. Mm-hmm. You feel like you need to work to get to that next level, which is what the goal is. Obviously, when you start playing baseball, you always want to get to that next level, whether you do it at a young age or you do it as you get older. It's a life lesson to where you got to work and you got to put in the work to get to the next level. And that's what everybody's trying to do in life, whether it's in business or in family or in sports.
All right, so this is hard to do, but remove East Cobb from the picture. All right, so you're in Nashville.
Okay.
Right? You're in Nashville. You don't know what you don't know. All right. You're new to Nashville, even. There's a lot of people from California coming here right now. All right. So, as a matter of fact, there's 3 or 4 kids on Ethan's team that came from California, that lived in California this time last year.
And they just moved to Nashville?
Moved to Nashville. Great players, great families. But you're new to Nashville. You're new to any market. And let's say your kid is where he came from. Let's say he's above average. All right. He's above average.
Yep.
So, you being, what advice would you have for parents as far as like how do they get plugged in and not waste an entire year, an entire season, an entire budget because they picked the wrong team and they're new to a market? What advice, like if there was like 5 core things that hopefully, and by the way, this is something that I'm going to say also I hope is in East Cobb Media one day, is like, but how, like, is there a playbook for parents to be able to say where they should be best? Is there something to measure their kids?
I'm speaking as me, or I'm speaking as somebody that's outsider looking in?
Well, let's say hypothetical situation. Kevin doesn't know what he doesn't know. And what advice would you give to yourself?
Okay. First of all, you want to make sure that you're putting your kid in a situation to where he wants to be there. So you're not forcing your kid to do something he doesn't want to do. Second, do your homework on coaches. Don't go to a team because it's quote unquote the number one team at that program, whatever it is. Trust me, there's a lot of great coaches that aren't quote the national coach or whatever, because that national coach has probably been there for a long time. Do your homework on coaches. That's very important. And, find out what you want as a player, ask your kid, what do you want out of this? Do you want to compete? Do you want to get better? Do you want reps? What is it that you want? And the athlete needs to be able to tell you that. The player needs to be able to tell you that. You can't tell them that. Because if you start trying to tell your kid what to do, he's going to kick back. That's trust me. Like, I could have put my sons on the number one team and been like, sorry, this is what we're doing. My 9-year-old right now wasn't ready for it. And I never forced him to do it. Now, will he get there? Yeah, because he works hard every day. And I instilled that, and I don't have to ask him. He'll come to me and be, it's daily now. He's like, Dad, let's go hit. Dad, let's go do this. Dad, let's work out. And I never forced that on him when he was 6, 7.
Yeah.
But now he's doing it coming to me. And my 6-year-old is completely different. He is not like his brother, but he's got a different level of talent. So he's going to be in that situation from talent. My 9-year-old is going to be in that situation from working hard. So it's two different things, and not every kid's going to be the same. But if every parent tries to treat every player the same, it's never going to work.
So even when you guys are looking, this is, let's say there was a lot to unpack there. All right. So, and this is big because again, you're managing expectations.
Right.
This is people's summer. You only get 18 or so with your kid, right? It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
And, and this stuff ain't cheap either.
No, not these days.
It ain't cheap. There's a lot of travel. There's a lot of time. I don't even know what a beach summer is. It's, and I love it. But, my son was a late bloomer. At 11 years old, he's okay with me saying this. At 11 years old, he was on the wrong team. Yeah. I put him on, I coached, and he was on the wrong team because I sat my own kid half the season, and it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't, and he was not very good at 11. And, since then, he's super, he works his ass off.
Yes.
And we're super proud of what he's doing. And he is on the right team now. He's challenged, he's getting the reps, and he's playing against kids that challenge him, but make him better. He's learning. What at the level that you coach though? What are you what are you looking for in players as far as obviously they're good on the baseball field or you wouldn't be talking about them. But what are you looking for? So with the 17-year-old level, at the level that I coach, I think for me the biggest thing is availability and commitment. Are you willing to put in what our schedule is going to be given to you at the beginning of the season? Are you going to be here? And are you going to put in the work? Are you going to buy into the system? If you're not, and you just want to come and go as you please, then it's not going to work. Because you don't get better. Like we talked about, you don't learn how to play as a team, which is so important moving into that next stage of your career, whether it's college baseball or minor league baseball. And everybody knows the landscape of college baseball has changed with the portal and all that stuff. So there's not a lot of freshmen that go into a college baseball program that see the field. Right.
Well, they definitely not going to see the field if they don't know how to play, if they don't know the ins and outs. And then now they're even farther behind from that JUCO kid or that mid-major kid that transferred in. So it's so important to be able to learn all those things at a young age now to where you're on the same playing field. That's why college coaches are going to get a mid-major, all conference. Would rather have him than a top-level high school incoming freshman. Right. Because of the ability to know how to play in those situations.
I was thinking about it when, it's Ethan's had his 16th birthday, so we had some of his teammates over at the house for a couple days.
Happy birthday, E.
Yeah, baby. Come on. And one of the coolest things is, I'm always, you're trying to teach these kids, and the craziest thing is, first of all, you got to learn the game, then you got to get good at the game, but then you got to know all the, literally, you got to know every way. Like when there's a runner on first and one out and you're on defense, in whatever position you're in, you got to know all the nuances that could happen, whether a ball's hit over there, where everybody's got to go, who's on first base and what kind of speed that dude's got, what kind of speed the hitter's got. If that runner that just hit the ball is more important than the runner that was on base based on the score. Like there's so many things that you have to know and understand. And at the same time, you're also, they're learning how to hit and bunt and throw strikes and throw a curveball. And it's like, there's, I don't know, it seems like to me, baseball, I could be wrong, but baseball is like one of the hardest games to master just because of all the different plays that can happen in situations.
I would completely agree. And that goes back to what you said. It goes back to younger ages now, to where if you don't learn all those situations and you're not constantly playing and being a part of a team and having a coach you trust that is going to be able to teach you all that stuff early in your career, you're going to be way behind getting to the higher level, whether you're the best player in the field or not. And unfortunately, we see a lot, the best players, especially at younger ages, don't get coached because coaches are afraid to say the wrong thing. And if you don't coach the kids, then you're just doing them a disservice. You can't be afraid to coach even the best players. Usually the best players need it the most because they've just relied on talent and not understanding the game. And you said it, baseball is probably the hardest game to play on a team and game standpoint. I mean, there's probably harder things to do individually in sports, but just all the different things that you have to think about before each pitch is something, if you're not learning it early, you're going to get left behind, no matter how talented you are. That's
right. That's a crazy big deal. And it's something that, like, it's part of the development process.
Yes.
And it's probably one of the most, I don't know, it's probably something that not a lot of attention is paid to. And you said something a second ago that I wanted to come back to, but it did slip my mind a little bit. I'm going to see if I can figure it out while we're literally right here on the air while we're doing this. But let's see. So what were we just talking about, Jensen? We were
by the way, Jensen's the man.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
He's been awesome.
Absolutely. So, well, it was all the nuances of the game. The challenges of learning the game while you're learning the skills of the game, and all those things. But it'll come to me in a minute. It always does. But it's there's just so much that I wanted to unpack when you were doing this. Oh, I know what it was. I'm actually made a note. That's why I do that. Right? So when you talked about the the commitment that it takes to be on a team like yours. So what's a summer schedule like? So walk me through. They try out, they make the team. It's a year-long commitment, right?
So for my team, there's not really a tryout. It's more of a recruiting process.
Okay.
In the fact that we try to seek out the best players for the situations that we have. A lot of those kids have been at East Cobb since they were 10, 11, 12. So we know them. We know they're a great fit. That's easy. Move up from 16-year-old Astros to 17-year-old Astros. So, what was the second part of the question?
Well, how do you look? What do you look for in the players that you're bringing on? Like, and what's the commitment look like?
Yeah. So, what we look for first and foremost, is the competitive drive, the will to want to get better, the will to be able to be coached, not just come here, let me showcase some skills and leave us. Like, I want to be able to coach kids. Like, I feel like I could bring a lot to their career. So I want to be able to coach them. That's a lot. So we do a year-long team. So whether you come to us in the fall or after your high school season, it's a year-long commitment. And we usually practice for a few weeks right after their high school season's in, and then we go straight into tournaments. Most of them are at East Cobb. We play the biggest tournaments elsewhere, like Prep Baseball at Lake Point has a couple of huge tournaments we play in. Team USA tournament in Cary is huge, where they bring the best players from around and put them all, again, going back to that competition thing that my dad created back in the day, best versus the best. That's what we strive for, is getting those kids that are willing to do that are willing to, best versus best.
Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe for more, and visit nickhyder.com.